So we live in Sierra Valley, California, which is a really unique place. We feel like we have a great community. We're always safe, and we've been attacked by wolves lately. So there's been 60 plus confirmed kills at this time, I think more.
It was almost overnight.
Probably 85% of my day is consumed by wolves.
We've experienced kills almost daily. Over 90% of the producers in the valley have been affected. We have experienced approximately 30.
We've had several kills, only one has been confirmed. The others were so badly eaten up or decayed that we couldn't prove it. And I have not been hurt like other ranchers in the valley.
The California gray wolf is protected under the endangered species list. So if somebody was to go out and kill a wolf, if it's a federal prosecution, then they'd be facing up to 1 year in federal jail and up to a $100,000 fine. If the state of California prosecuted it, it's a misdemeanor crime and up to a $25,000 fine.
Hey, Dwight. There's a kill on Rollins. Okay. All right. Thanks, Dwight. Bye.
Bye.
Got a confirmed kill out on Rollins.
Tyler. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
And his tracks are fresh. I can just follow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out here.
Yeah.
Those are bite marks.
Hi.
Oh,
And what are you mostly looking for, George?
bite marks.
Bite marks.
Yeah, I see them already.
And you can see the hemorrhaging, all the real dark red.
Hey, thanks for doing what you do.
Those are bite marks in the top corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are all bite marks. You gonna copy this?
Yes.
Let me write confirmed on here.
They're all alive. One's just maybe.
Yeah.
But what we're dealing with is a political issue. I've kind of changed my mind now because the way I've seen them operate, that the collar was pretty much to protect the wolf, not to protect the rancher from the wolf.
There's radio feature to the collar where they could use simple telemetry gear to find the wolves, and we pushed and pushed and pushed and didn't understand why the wardens didn't have it. They finally gave them the telemetry they needed to some of the biologists and stuff that ride around with the game wardens. Well, it became apparent after some time that the telemetry wasn't working. We discovered that they actually had the telemetry turned off at night when the game wardens were supposed to be addressing the wolves. And when we called them on it, they said they had a corrupt file, whatever that means. Anyway, they had that feature shut off on the collar, and it's very disturbing that they would lead these game wardens on. They were out here putting in their night shifts and overtime, and the biologists, that they would do this to them. It's pretty sickening.
I'd just like to say that the compensation program, cattlemen didn't push to have that in the state budget. That came from someone else, and it came from someone on the wolf side that wanted a reason that they could tell people it was okay to kill cattle because they're all getting paid for it. We're getting paid on maybe 1 out of 10 and 1 out of nothing for the fences, for the time, and for everything else that goes into it. So
there's a lot of coyotes in the valley, and they can eat up the calves pretty well up where they've ate all the evidence before you find the cluster. So all this BS that everybody's telling me about these compensation programs, they're not very good if you can't prove it was a wolf kill.
I gotta prove it. You know, saying what I think doesn't count.
Right.
What I know counts.
So they've had the game wardens out here, the strike team, they're supposed to engage and run the wolves out of Sierra Valley and scare them away from the cows so they won't predate on livestock. And they've had a couple of nights that they seem to call really successful because they engaged the wolves, but in that same night, the wolves just went a few miles away and killed livestock. I don't count that as a success. Yeah, they might have saved one cow, but they just forsaken another.
I don't know anywhere in the world where they've spent $2 million to have 24/7 professionals on the ground, day in and day out. I don't know what more we can do. And we've effectively had to kill almost every night that those people have been here for the last 2 months.
We used to see a lot of road kills from deer being hit. There are no deer.
Tell us how many deer are out there, because we've been watching our deer just being destroyed. And I don't understand how some of these people can get on their high horse about animal rights and watch a single species or two destroy so many other species.
Yeah, a lot of these cattle, the wolves they haven't killed them, they've maimed them severely, and they bite them down the back and let the puppies bite them. I had a calf out here, and my first calf heifers was a day old, and the wolf bit it so hard it broke its back. And then we could see all the bite marks where he let the puppies chew on the front, on up and down the back, and just left the calf there, never even ate it. And when I found it, I tried to get the calf up. I could see it was bit on the back, and I had hopes that he would make it. When I picked him up, his back legs were completely dead. They would just dangle. And so we had to dispose of the calf, but it is really sad.
The kill I experienced on Sunday morning at 8:30, when the downloads came up and I was aware that there was a kill on the mounds, I raced over to Newman's Point, which is an overlook. I jumped out with my binoculars and I caught the wolves going back up the creek. They'd spent a little more time on that carcass, evidently eating it, and they were headed back towards their den. I witnessed them go by 6 cows along the creek, and the next 4 cows they came to, the first 2 wolves took the cow away from the calf, and the third wolf grabbed the calf, and the other 2 spun around and they tore that calf in pieces in a matter of 30 seconds. It was amazing to see the professionalism they utilize in killing. It's shocking, and that right at that moment, there is no cohabitating with these 3 animals. They were all 3 of the collared wolves. They were all together, and they are a killing machine. And I watched it happen in a matter of 30 seconds. So that shows me that we have no idea what the true impacts are around here and how many cattle have actually been killed.
The men in this valley are hard workers. They take care of their family. They're the old school. They take care of their family. They protect their family. And at this point, they feel helpless. I mean, you sit there and watch them kill your livelihood. And I know people think the ranchers are just hardcore. They don't care. Well, we have cows out in our field that the grandkids own. They all have names. There's one here today, and he'll just sit. He's changed. And it's just sad.
Well, before there was wolves, I went about my day-to-day chores, and I didn't have worry and dread in my life every morning about where they went and what they ate.
But at my age, I don't want to wake up from 12. I'm a one-man show. If the wolf comes in at 3 and kills your cows, you're not there. So that's been awful for me.
Yeah, it's really tough. We've been living this hell now for months. It's not. This is months into it, and I was stressed out a month ago. I had knots in my stomach, and I'm kind of getting almost a little numb to it. I'm still angry, but I don't even know what to do or say anymore.
We work diligently with the state, oftentimes feeling we're being stonewalled. It looks like they're just buying time for something to happen.
It's a constant. And then, they get hit once and then they don't want to go to bed the next night. Right. It's a strain on everybody.
I rode over to him and I couldn't see much, and then he started moving. I was like, oh, there's something wrong with him. So I roped him, and once I got my hands on him, I could for sure tell there's holes in him. Like there's a hole that's just oozing. It's pretty horrible.
The other thing is these people that talk about being humane and taking care of animals, we try our best to take care of our cattle the best we can. But it's pretty hard to justify an animal like the wolf that kills an animal, basically paralyzes it and eats it while it's still alive. A lion doesn't do that. A lion just kills the animal, eats it. The wolves will torture an animal, and you can get that from our trapper or whoever you want. They pretty much bite it so many times that it goes numb. They'll chase an animal to death and then just leave it there without even eating it. So that seems to me more animal cruelty than what any ranchers are doing.
I got a phone call from a local rancher. His adult son was asleep at home and heard just a really loud commotion out on the front porch near the front door. So much so that he thought somebody was actually breaking into the house. We believe 2 wolves chased a full-grown elk around the property. Ultimately, the elk ended up on the front porch where the wolves continued their attack. The elk had made it off of the front porch and maybe about 30-40 yards away where it finally succumbed to its injuries, and then the 2 wolves fed on the rear end of the elk. Ultimately, it was a confirmed depredation on the elk right at somebody's front porch. You know, we have 7 or 8 elk. We don't have 700 or 800 elk. Yes, an elk is a natural prey for the wolf, but there's not enough elk in our valley to sustain a wolf population.
To throw a different spin on that too, I'm an elementary school teacher in town, and when you do see deer, they're hanging out on the grass between the elementary school and the high school, right between where all the kids play. So as teachers, we've been concerned about what happens when the cattle ship out and their primary source of food is gone, and the deer have learned that they're safer in town. So where are the predators gonna start coming?
Once the cows are gone, I'm really concerned that they're going to move into our neighborhoods this late fall and winter, and we're going to start seeing depredations in and amongst the houses.
And ranchers, we don't want to take out all the wolves, and they say that constantly. That's all we want to do. We need to start with just taking out the bad ones. And there's a difference between wolves. There's some packs that kill constantly, some packs that kill for sport. We think we have one here because they're certainly not eating everything they kill. And there's other wolf packs that only kill some of the time and leave livestock alone.
I don't think any of the ranchers that you'll talk to is saying that they want to be able to just have an open season on wolves. I think we just have to be able to protect our livestock, bottom line.
Once you start kind of getting rid of some wolves and the ones that are a problem, the other ones move further up into the hills and you just don't see them as much. I don't know. I feel like I'm trapped in a sinister novel.
It's almost biblical what's happening, because for eons we've had the ability to protect our herd. It's our livelihood. You know, we were put on this earth to reign over these animals, and we were given permission to utilize the cattle and the sheep for a food source. And as a society, we have managed to upset that apple cart. Humans are no longer up here anymore. We are below the wolf. If we can't defend our cattle, then we don't have a business, and it's that crucial.
I'm scared, Dad.